Acknowledge your bloodline. We're ready to get right into it. Thanks to everybody that joined in. I hope y'all enjoy these videos. I am. Let me go drag this over here. We're ready to get to it. Here we go.
What is going on, guys? It is WrestleMania here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of the Blue Brand, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Triple H exposing WWE more and more, AEW's Grand Slam show in big trouble, WWE changed up Solo Sikoa plans, has Triple H quietly ended a faction, Christopher Daniels retires, a former WWE superstar returns, could a legendary TNA match come to WrestleMania, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on WrestleMania XL. As always, we won't recap the matches, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, Bayley puts over Stratton. Tiffany Stratton's win over Bayley was another example of how the role model is really serious about putting over the promotion's younger talent and giving them a chance to succeed. Bayley gave a fantastic interview early on SmackDown explaining why she's after Stratton, both for Tiffany costing her the women's title against Nia Jax and to get back on track after what she considered a disappointing run as women's champion, which was pretty cool for her to mention. This made the main event match seem extra special, as did Bayley putting Stratton over clean. The only thing WWE and Bayley has to be wary of is having her lose too much, or wins over her lose their impact. Number 2, more tag team goodness. While SmackDown hasn't fully capitalized on its extra hour, the show is using extra time to develop its tag team division undercard. The writers are finally giving several team storylines to help establish them and matches for fans to see what each team can do in the ring. Number 3, strong but not silent. Jacob Fatu's days of playing the strong silent type are definitely over. The superstar has been spent the last several months destroying opponents with nothing more than an occasional howl, cut a fantastic promo that was worth the wait. The Samoan werewolf told the WWE Universe he doesn't care if they cheer or boo him, then said that if they thought that he was unhinged, they ain't seen nothing yet. Now let's be fair, giving a mysterious menace the microphone doesn't always work, but last night it did, with Jacob's delivery doubling his status as the WWE's resident badass. Number 4, move over Solo. It was unknown what's next for Solo Sikoa after he walked out during an attempt to cut a promo, but it appears that Jacob Fatu's promo is the start of Jacob's ascension. Whether Fatu takes over Solo's version of the bloodline or goes in a different direction is unclear, but it should make for some compelling television as fans wait for WrestleMania. Number 5, Ray vs Kevin Owens banger. Last night's Ray vs Kevin Owens bout was much needed, as it injected some life into the KO vs Cody feud. Owens' interaction with Ray that set up the match was brilliant, because it showed how delusional Kevin is in believing he's champion, while it reinforced Ray's position as a veteran babyface who wasn't afraid to call someone else out. Their confrontation and subsequent match also reinforced Owens' status as a dangerous competitor, giving Cody fans more reason to think that Rhodes' title is actually in jeopardy, and a good build for Saturday night's main event. Saturday night's main event is finally shaping up after this week's Raw and SmackDown, with last night's show announcing Braun Strowman will battle Jacob Fatu, while Shawn Michaels will mediate a contract signing between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens for their ladder match at the Royal Rumble. But that was a good what about the bad? It's number 1, Apollo Crews' unoriginal backstage role. Just imagine how Apollo Crews must have felt when he heard his latest role on SmackDown was just getting beaten up backstage. On one hand, Crews may be happy to get some TV time, but on the other hand, his role as a glorified extra with occasional speaking parts may have him wondering how long he's got before he's looking to work in AEW. Number 2, spoiling Charlotte's return. And last night's hype video for Charlotte was a standard affair, so it was nothing bad about the video in terms of production, it was pretty good. But what was bad was that the WWE ruined the surprise factor for Flair's return, as it would have been better for her to just show up at a major event like the Royal Rumble than have the announcers reveal her return is imminent. Number 3, another tired Bloodline run-in. Was Solo Sikoa's war with the OG Bloodline ever gonna end? Given that Roman Reigns defeated Solo Sikoa for the Ula Fala, why keep this tired feud going on? It's not going to do anything to help anyone involved, and it's exposing Solo Sikoa as a tired act. And Carmelo Hayes, another talent lost in the shuffle. SmackDown now has 3 hours, so why is Carmelo Hayes still stuck putting people over? While Hayes' match against Jimmy Uso didn't end in a loss, thanks to Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu attacking Jimmy, he should be doing more than just providing a warm body in the ring. If WWE is serious about pushing Hayes, a big if considering how he's been misused since jumping to SmackDown, now was the time to build him up. Allen was nothing downright ugly. SmackDown was a good show that lagged at times, but overall delivered some good matches and furthered storylines. The Royal Rumble is only in 2 weeks, so expect things to heat up as the WWE gets closer to its first official 2025 PLE and Saturday night's main event. What did you guys think of the blue brand last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Now first story looks at Triple H exposing WWE more and more. Now fans got to see another sneak peek behind the curtain thanks to Triple H uploading video footage of a rehearsal for SmackDown. 411 Mania is reporting Triple H posted a video of his producing Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga's entrance ahead of tonight's SmackDown. The WWE CCO posted the video on Friday that you can check out below, which features him as he directs how the entrance should be produced on television. Now with Triple H recently using phrases like work and shoot, as well as uploading videos of rehearsals, is he exposing WWE too much? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, AEW's Grand Slam show in big trouble. Now in other news, there's trouble facing AEW's upcoming Grand Slam show. Wrestling Purist contributor Peps Wrestling recently summed up the show's many stalls and setbacks. AEW books a 30k seater in Australia. It's supposed to be the first Max exclusive show. They don't sell enough tickets, so they move to a smaller venue. AEW promotes it, gets aired at 8 PM Eastern Time on TNT instead of it being a Max exclusive. The promoted time isn't possible due to the All-Star NBA weekend. It airs after the All-Star weekend at around midnight. And judging by all of these problems, it seems that AEW really hasn't planned out this show thoroughly enough, as it's been plagued by a number of problems. Next up, WWE changed Solo Sikoa plans. That's just what's going on with Solo Sikoa, and did WWE change up its original plan for the Enforcers segment on SmackDown? Well, WrestleVotes recently tweeted about WWE's schedule for Solo, saying that Solo Sikoa segment was a hot topic of debate within creative today. The original rundown this morning had Solo opening the show to address his loss to Roman. As Solo appeared later in the show but walked out after WWE fans booed him mercilessly. And fans are still scratching their heads over whether WWE has a storyline for Sikoa or whether this was a way to drag things out until it crafts a solid storyline. Next up, who is replacing Pat McAfee on Raw? A color commentator Pat McAfee won't be available for this Monday's edition of Raw, with WrestleTalk reporting Pat McAfee will miss the January 20th episode of Raw in Dallas as he'll be part of ESPN's College Football Playoff National Championship coverage. So who will take Pat's place this Monday? Well, during SmackDown tonight, Wade Barrett confirmed that he will replace Pat McAfee as Michael Cole's partner for the January 20th Raw. Interestingly, Corey Graves' name didn't come up as a replacement, which could have been something to do with the current standoff between Corey Graves and WWE. Graves has made it clear that he's unhappy being demoted from SmackDown to NXT, and while fans disagree on whether these comments are sincere or just part of a storyline, it seems unlikely WWE will put Graves in such a prime role. We'll have to see whether Graves mentions this in any subsequent tweets, as it could give fans an inkling of whether Corey is truly dissatisfied with WWE, or if this is just a whole storyline. Next up, a WWE legend appears on SmackDown. Our fans watching SmackDown got to see former Women's Champion Victoria at ringside. Victoria, who excelled both in WWE and TNA wrestling, was spotted at ringside during Kevin Owens' match against Rey Mysterio. Victoria had an acrimonious relationship with WWE during the Vince McMahon era, but her appearance last night suggests that she's welcome back and that fans might even get to see her long-deserved induction into the WWE Hall of Fame. Next up, Kevin Owens roasts Cody Rhodes. Kevin Owens was at the top of his trash-talking game, not only running down Rey Mysterio, but mocking Cody Rhodes and his famous father Dusty Rhodes with a t-shirt that played to Dusty's often repeated slogan that he's the American dream, the son of a plumber. But Owens wore a shirt that read the Canadian dream, the son of a security systems technician. Next up, WWE ups production values even more. The WWE's continued efforts to surpass its past production achievements was seen last night by this picture of the SmackDown announce table, which added a new dimension of the show's presentation. That table looks so good, I don't think anybody's gonna get slammed through it anymore. Next up, wrestler Christopher Daniels retires. Oh, it's official, veteran grappler Christopher Daniels has retired after decades in the squared circle. Fightful select Sean Rossap reports that Daniel's Texas death match against Hangman Adam Page will be the Fallen Angels' last match. The 54-year-old wrestler's career dates back to 1993, and he's worked in so many promotions including WCW, Ring of Honor, and TNA Wrestling, winning many singles and tag team championships. We're wishing Christopher Daniels all the best as he steps away from the ring for good. Next up, Triple H quietly ends a faction. While the Latino World Order history, that's a question some fans are asking as the group has been inactive lately, with Rey Mysterio even competing on SmackDown rather than Raw. However, a new report from Sportskeeda states that the group is still considered active and it's just a case of Triple H waiting to find the right faction for the group to battle. Now, while this rumor is encouraging for LWO fans, the reality is that the group hasn't done much since being drafted to Raw. They may as well end it. Next up, could a legendary TNA match come to WrestleMania? A good WWE fan see one of TNA Wrestling's signature matches of this year's show of shows. Current TNA knockout Jordan Gray seems to think so, as she recently tweeted, "Ultimate X at WrestleMania will happen." Now, for those unfamiliar with the Ultimate X match, it involves a structure with 4 poles positioned at the corners of the ring, from which steel cables are suspended in an X shape up above the ring. The prize usually is a championship belt or a large X symbolizing a title opportunity is hung at the center of the cables. Now, whilst this match is one of the most exciting matches in TNA history, WWE already has a, well, similar concept, that being the Money in the Bank. However, as a number 1 contendership match or just a simple title match, it could definitely be exciting in WWE to see, as just remember, no ladders are allowed. Next up, where's Blair Davenport? Davenport was drafted to SmackDown last June, but she's kept a very low profile, leading to questions about whether WWE intends to use her. Well, Chris Featherstone recently responded to fans' questions about this, saying, "The right story will arise when she will shine. Landscape on SmackDown is very valuable. She's been in discussions as someone to benefit from the 3-hour format, which I already reported but can confirm again. So they're working on the right story to insert her in so she can be properly showcased." Blair's situation is another reminder of how many superstars are fighting for TV time, let alone a push. As mentioned in our SmackDown review, veteran Apollo Crews is currently being used for nothing more than a backstage beatdown, and sadly, that's the most exposure he's had in months. Hopefully WWE can find the right story for Blair Davenport, or any other superstars that are lost in the shuffle right now. Next up, a former WWE superstar returns. A Fightful reports that Lince Dorado worked a match during an NXT live event. Dorado tweeted about his appearance saying, "Cat's out of the bag, time to get lucha lit." And finally, a very happy Scrap Daddy. And last but not least, Adam Pearce is thanking everyone for his time in WWE. And it kind of gave the notion that he's leaving the company. I never imagined the path I'd eventually take, but the journey has been filled and fulfilled a million times over with passion. So from the very first to the now to the very last, thank you for welcoming me into your homes and the boundless privilege for your time. Now, even though it seems so, Pearce's WWE journey hasn't ended just yet, as many just misinterpreted his wording. But there you have it, folks, our look at SmackDown, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.
Okay. Alright. We're gonna get out of here. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. We'll see what we can get into. Let's get it.